Hello, my name is Alexander and you're on the DP Labs channel. And I'm ready to show you the results of our work over the past week and a half. I've been working on the wiring and lighting. As you can see, the lamps are hanging beautifully. I stretched the cables, carefully hung all the lights, completed the electrical wiring for the outlets, installed all the outlets themselves, and connected everything to the panel. Took me about 7 working days to do all this. There are 50 lamps here with a total power of 1.7 kilowatts and a brightness of 150,000 lumens. While I was working on the wiring and lighting, Alexei welded all the tables we had planned. We ended up with a sturdy structure made from 60mm profile pipe. The ceramic is securely fastened to the floor and the walls. You can work productively, nothing will shake or wobble. I also want to talk separately about the chandelier I want to hang. I finally took my old reliable drone out of the boxes and carefully unpacked it. This is the same filming drone that used to have a camera mounted on it, and we shot a lot of footage with it over the years. Later on, for a special project, we decided to convert it into an LED drone, giving it a completely new purpose and function. So there are 24 LEDs here, I think, with a brightness of 110,000 lumens. I won't use it at full power. I want to hang it so that there's just a focused point of light above some work table. This drone is also my own personal design. I think I originally made it about 7 years ago. For a period of 4 years, it was used very actively and frequently for filming purposes. Movies and music videos as a filming drone. Then for another project, it was converted into an LED drone and spent 3 years just sitting on a shelf. Now I've dug it out and decided that instead of gathering dust, it should at least serve some purpose. I pushed it to speeds of about 140 kilometers per hour, flying in winds of 40 meters per second. It never let me down even once. During flight, the drone was powered by batteries. Here, to power it in a stationary setup, I went all out and used whatever power supplies I had, connecting them in series and parallel to get the required voltage and power. I'll connect the multimeter now in order to carefully adjust the diodes so they don't overheat, because they're specifically designed to work under the propeller, which provides very good cooling. Now the chandelier is hanging in its place. This is about 7% of its maximum brightness. Today I was made to stop at the point when we had already assembled all the tables and carefully put the plywood tabletops in place. I finished all the sanding, thoroughly rounded off all the sharp edges to make them smooth and safe, and now I'm working on marking the surfaces for the next steps. I found this kind of engraver at Dmitry factory and decided to use it for my project. Just yesterday evening I brought it in and spent a long time figuring out the original software that came with the engraver, trying to understand its features and settings. Honestly, it feels like the original program was written by a drunk Chinese individual, because I spent 2 hours just trying to get any acceptable result. This is the test board where I tried to select all the modes, but the problem wasn't even with the modes. It was that the original software generated G-code poorly because it wouldn't load vectors and instead traced directly from raster images. The result was crap, so I decided to use software for a milling machine. I looked at the G-code that this machine uses. Then I wrote a proper control program using proper vectors. And then I just edited the text file, replacing the commands for lowering and raising the milling bit with turning the laser on and off. All machines operate in the same language, the so-called G-code. It's essentially a set of coordinates with specific punctuation, which the cutting tool or the laser emitter carefully follows to move around. To get a slightly bigger offset and have the logo positioned closer to the edge of the machine, I actually need a small stop to gently push the machine out a bit further. I used a bunch of pipe scraps I had lying around. some 60mm ones and broken magnets from a scooter motor. I wrap them in sandpaper so they don't slip. I'm going to attach it right here. All right, now let's go ahead and grab the pipe and magnetize it in place. Using a specially prepared angle bracket, we carefully make sure everything is level with the table. The frame itself is aluminum, very light, weighs, I don't know, maybe a kilo or a kilo and a half. I want to carefully put the logo in the lower right corner, so I need to leave a sufficient gap so the head doesn't hit the edge of the machine. I know the width of the logo, so I need to leave a little bit of extra space, just a millimeter or so. The power supply, the compressor, that's the whole set. It's convenient when there are outlets everywhere. All right, here's our menu. Please take a look. All the tables are ready. They have the plywood, and all that's left is to carefully coat it with epoxy resin. I want to use clear epoxy resin to thoroughly soak the plywood so the beautiful natural wood color stays visible. I like it. All the lighting is now completely finished and all of the outlets are fully connected. I even ran all the pneumatics. There's air available at almost every post, which is really convenient. All the machines are already connected. You can go around to the other side and see how everything is set up over there. We made these wonderful tables. This is a workbench right here. It will be placed along the wall. An air blow gun. So for both this and that machine, it's always within reach and doesn't get in the way. I decided to make the cooling system out of containers that I already had available on hand. Right here, I want to hang all of the tools up on the walls for easy access. That is here and in that room as well, so that each tool can be outlined with a marker. And at the end of the workday, you could just look and see what's missing and put everything back in its place. Yeah, because when things aren't in their proper places, you waste a lot of time searching for the right tool. We have quite a lot of polycarbonate almost unused. We decided to use it. Here, the passage is sized just right for a forklift in case something needs to be brought in here. And the door, honestly, I don't know. I'll probably just make it out of thick polyethylene in the form of curtains. I hope that'll keep the dust out. Here we ended up with some really pretty cool and stylish countertops that look fantastic. Although the floor is really uneven, but they're perfectly level. But here, the countertop height is almost 1.10 meters. With my height, it's actually comfortable for me. Here, the countertop is already a bit above waist level. I really don't like it when furniture wobbles, but here everything is super sturdy, the anchors are driven in, everything is welded to the wall, absolutely solid. You can confidently and comfortably do whatever you want here. The computer desks were made like a standard school desk. It's just two halves connected together with plywood. The plywood acts as stiffening ribs. All that's left is to paint the walls. We bought an electric sprayer. I don't even know what this thing is called. An electric paint sprayer. Not an ad. Costs 3,000 rubles. In theory, I hope it's got enough capacity to paint all the walls. It's simple, affordable, and really as fast as possible. The goal was to launch production as soon as possible, finally. Well, it's already the 4th week, and I'm still working on construction. Honestly, I thought it would move along much faster. But as usual, you just really can't anticipate everything. It turned out it's too cold and damp here for the resin. I treated all of the countertops and I really thought I'd be able to sand everything down already, but it just keeps drying and it's still sticky. I don't know, I poured it on Monday and today is Wednesday. I hope I'll be able to sand it tomorrow. Well, this countertop was actually the very first one I poured and I tried sanding it. Basically, it does work, but the resin hasn't fully cured yet, so it still sticks a bit when I try to sand it. But where it worked at, it's really like a composite. It's very smooth and at least you can't leave marks on it with your fingernail. Construction. I'll vacuum the floor and just treat it with liquid glass because honestly, I have no idea what can be done with the asphalt. To level the floor here, I'd probably need to pour about 4 tons of mix to make it horizontal, so I'll just do what I can to keep the dirt down. I decided to paint everything under the countertops completely black so that it doesn't stand out and visually hides all these pipes. And I'll coat the pipes themselves with fluorescent varnish so that they glow under ultraviolet light. I finally completed the construction and now I'm truly ready to tell you exactly what I'm actually working on, what stage I'm currently at, and what kind of content I'll be sharing with you. Next, subscribers of the channel, let's go, I'll show you. So I made proper tables where you can put everything, lay out all the scooters, and spread out the parts on this table. This is the first scooter I ever made and it holds a lot of meaning for me. After I finished building it, the scooter was sold to someone else. Now after quite a few years have gone by, it has come back to me for some maintenance work to keep it in good condition. Here in this section, the parts haven't been processed yet and are still in their raw, unfinished state. So some of this material is just after the milling process has been completed. Here in this area, we were experimenting with a process called tumbling to see its effects. These are already finished, fully polished parts. They're carefully wrapped in protective film so they don't get scratched or damaged during handling or transport. Here are parts straight after milling. I haven't shown you the first scooter yet, the prototype of version 2.0. It traveled, I think, 7,000 and a bit more, and now I want to put a new motor on it. Anyway, we finally finished this repair, so I can finally throw out these clothes, buy myself a nice proper suit, get a haircut, and start working on scooters again.